make through those mountains before we could get to the line. So when we started out, we decided to have a rear guard that would stay behind the main party about a mile so as to not let anybody come on to us effectively. And then we had the advance guard out ahead. And it happened that I took the advance guard with two of the other my fellows. I remember one of them was Charlie Anderson. And so about the second day that we started out from camp early in the morning, we were following a ridge. And this was out kind of, I would say, west of Pacheco or Garcia. And as we were riding along, we were still, the main company could see us because we was only about a mile ahead of them. But as we were riding along that morning, we saw three horsemen come riding up out of the canyon. And as they come up on the ridge, they were going in the same direction as we were, so they had their backs to us. And so we stopped right still before they saw us, and we sent one fellow back to tell the party to stop. And Charlie Anderson and I, we just stood there with our horses in some thick pines, and we watched these two fellows. And as they come up on to the ridge, they got off of their horses, and they took their rifles out, and they began to go down the ridge, and they were looking over into one side. They looked like they were scouts who were just scouting out the country to see what was there. And they hadn't seen us yet. And so I said to Charles, what do you think we better do? And, well, Charles says, as much as they've left their horses, what do you say we work our way down there to their horses, because after a while they'll come back to their horses, and we will be there, hid there as they come back, and we can arrest them. So I says, okay. So we did. We worked our way down through the timber, and we got in there within about 25 yards of where they had their horses tied up. And pretty quick these fellows come back. Had belts of cartridges around each shoulder and one around their belt. And their horses were our American horses and American saddles, and so we know they had stolen them from some of our own people, Mormon people. And so then as they come up there, they had their rifles in their hand, but to untie their horses, they stood their rifles up against the tree. When they stood their rifles up against the tree and began untying the horses, we both stepped up with our rifles and said, get them up. And where they stood, yeah, and so boy, oh boy, they come up with it. That's your life. So I held my rifle on them, and Charles went up and disarmed them. Had their pistols on, and took their belts and their guns, and brought them back to us. And so then we motioned for our crowd to come on, and they came on. Well, then there they are. Well, the thing was then, what should we do? So, well, I remember how David. Well, I don't know what. But anyhow, there was a man in our party that wasn't as religious as the most of us were, and he said, I'll tell you, there's only one thing to do. There's only one thing to do. He says, these fellows now are just part of a revolution party, and they're right around here in these hills, mighty close, and these fellows have been out here scout around before they moved up here to find out what the lay of the country is. And he says, the only thing to do to be safe is to kill them, every one of them. And he said, I know you fellows don't believe in shedding blood. And he says, so you just leave it up to me, and you say, give me the word, and I'll kill the three of them. And so then there was kind of a hush went over the crowd, and they stopped a little bit, and right in the woods was spoke up. Somebody said, I don't think you can kill them. There's other ways you can do to be safe, rather than to kill them. And there was one of those Frenchmen who talked a little English, I know, and so you could understand what was going on. And they were the biggest looking fellows I have ever seen in my life because they needed a life for that faith.